chat right now because they're having fun.
The number one thing that I love about my drive back from my family's for Thanksgiving, though, is there's a pizza chain that they don't have where I live, but they have it at where my family lives, or at least like 30 minutes away, and I get like 3 pies from there, and I just like put it in the refrigerator, and that'll be like my lunch for the next couple of days, and I'm gonna get it, and it's gonna be good. I'm gonna get the garlic roasted tomatoes and the thick cut pepperoni.
Enjoy it while you fucking can, man. Because for me, I don't know about you, but I'm like mid-30s, and basically that kind of shit, like, it's fucking delicious going down, but I got heartburn for like the next like few hours, and and then basically like it just fucks my guts up. It's not that fun for me.
I mean, I'm 33, but I don't know. Like this,
if you can
I definitely paid for it on the toilet. I definitely paid for it on the toilet, and I also definitely paid for it on the 5 hours on the treadmill I'm gonna owe afterwards. But
right, all right. As long as you're doing good. And then Star, I would say it's 2:40 a.m. where I am right now, so I would say we run one more game, and then I'm probably gonna fucking call it.
Same.
I can't be crazy. I can be up late. I can't be up crazy late.
Yeah, I gotta go to bed. So.
That'll make me want to play this game.
It's fucking sick. So
if you're
Star and I were running around as a 12-foot tall retards who were just beating the shit out of fucking zombies with clubs and grenade launchers. But now I changed my guy to a murder priest with a flamethrower and a hammer that has a charge on it that if I hit somebody in the face, it'll throw them across the fucking room.
What's it called again?
Dark Tide.
Dark Tide, okay.
If you have Game Pass, it's going to be on Game Pass in about 5 days.
For Xbox or
for PC too?
Really?
Yeah.
I think
Microsoft
swallowing up the fucking money right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, Game Pass is, I think, like killing it for Microsoft right now.
Well, is it like a subscription service, and then you just get to play whatever games for whatever time?
Yeah, like everything on their catalog, and that's part of the reason that they bought like Bethesda. I think they're trying to buy Activision Blizzard right now.
Wait, are you guys behind me, or did you get spawned way ahead of me? Oh yeah, Danny, catch up.
Where am
I'm running back to you.
But yeah, for $15 a month, the amount of games that I get on it, I would definitely say it's worth it. It's like it's what Stadia was trying to do, but better.
Or Stadia, by the way. Like I thought
fuck Stadia. Fuck Stadia.
Well,
that was an awful idea.
Well, I thought they had decent marketing, and then wasn't it supposed to be like cloud-based gaming or something?
Yeah, but you also pay full price for the games that you're playing on the cloud.
Yeah, but if you don't have to fuck with storage or whatever, like, and on top of that you can play it anywhere, that's not that bad.
For storage and hardware, although, like I said, also Game Pass also has cloud gaming on it too, so it's
that was like the major selling point that I thought was interesting. So if that's not like a unique feature, then yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah. We're also getting to that point. I think as long as you have like a decent internet connection, you'll probably be able to do cloud gaming, like as long as you've got like a PC that can run it. Now that they've been trying to, I forget what that thing's called. It's not Fightcade, but it's like something like Fightcade. Yeah, but yeah, Stadia.
Fighting games thing. Which, by the way, can I just comment? I think it's weird that fucking like all of the large black YouTube streamers or whatever are all like fight game pros. Like I just think it's so weird. Like
present that.
Oh, if you've
wait, are you a fighting game pro too?
If you've ever been to like
are you yeah, I was about to say, are you super into fucking fighting games?
Yeah, I would say like if you're looking for like
our teammates are retards.
If you're looking for like racial diversity that's like genuinely like pretty organic, the fighting game community is like pretty diverse, I would say.
Dominated by Asians. black.
No,
I would say it's like it's got a mix of like
Sorry.
everybody essentially.
when I was 15, I got invited to Japan to play Oratorio Tango.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Is that?
So, virtual on Oratorio Tango? Yeah, it's a fighting game.
Okay.
See?
What games are you playing right now?
Fighting games.
I'm playing Hot Trash right now, playing Soulstone Survivors, just because it's easy to talk about.
Oh. I've been playing. I can't really say shit. I've been playing Guilty Gear Strive for a while too.
Oh, Guilty Gear is great.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
I really wish that Faust wasn't a massive downgrade from how it was in Exert, but what are you gonna do?
If I'm playing for love, I'm playing Eddie.
Okay, what are you gonna do?
Like all of the large black YouTube streamers or whatever are all like fight game pros. Like I just think it's so weird. Like
Resent that.
Oh, if you've
wait, are you a fighting game pro too?
if you've ever been to like
I'm not a string for it.
Are you yeah, I was about to say, are you super into fucking fighting games?
yeah, I would say like if you're looking for like
our teammates are retards.
if you're looking for like
Okay.
racial diversity that's like genuinely like pretty organic, the fighting game community is like pretty diverse, I would say.
Dominated by Asians and blacks.
I would say it's like it's got a mix of like
Sorry.
everybody essentially.
When I was 15, I got invited to Japan to play Oratorio Tango.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
So, virtual on Oratorio Tango? Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
See?
What games are you playing right now?
Fighting games.
I'm playing Hot Trash right now, playing Soulstone Survivors, just because it's easy to talk about.
Oh. I've been playing. I can't really say shit. I've been playing Guilty Gear Strive for a while too.
Oh, Guilty Gear is great.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
I really wish that Faust wasn't a massive downgrade from how it was in Exert, but what are you gonna do?
If I'm playing for love, I'm playing Eddie. But
Okay.
If I'm playing, like, for real, I'm playing Potemkin, because he's a fucking monster. So, like, in Street Fighter, I'm a Guile player. Anything that plays like Guile, or even in King of, SNK is, like, my main love. So anything that runs like a Guile character, I'm using it horribly, or a grab character. And the newest Street Fighters is Abel.
Yeah. I'm really hoping Street Fighter 6 does well.
It looks good, and Guile looks like a monster.
I might spot you $40. You need to get this fucking game, man. It's fucking.
My dude,
If you want to try it out, just wait 5 days, get it on Game Pass.
I will play it.
Dude, I'm fucking like I hit a dude with a hammer, right? And I charged it up, and somebody like shot his head off as I did it, so I just like smacked a corpse like fucking 20 feet. It's fucking awesome.
It's kind of ridiculous. I've been hearing about you all day, and I never met you, and all of a sudden we're cool. So I appreciate that. This is why I like these spaces.
What? You and me?
Connor's a pretty chill dude.
Hey, what do you mean you've been hearing about him all day? What did you hear about him?
No, we met I think
We
we were
met last time, I
Stone
thought.
or- Yeah.
No, I just forget.
No, that's fine. You're having a good time, and I respect it.
Well, I didn't know who I was speaking to. So, like, hearing your name today and seeing you here is...
I want to. So I was really big into the panel scene for a really long time, and I do love doing debates, but it just gets stressful after a while, right? And then also what happened was I got a job that gets off at 8:30, and Prime only starts your shit at 8, and I kind of was like, well, could you push back, blah blah blah, and like I didn't fight for it too hard because to be honest, I was a little bit burnt out. But you know, it's really nice to get back into the fucking panel. One-on-ones are fun. I do love one-on-ones, like conversations, but because it's always like a specific topic or whatever, it gets like a little bit drier than this. Whereas with like 8 people bullshitting and playing video games, it can get pretty fucking funny and weird pretty fast.
It's great.
Thank you for the raid, Turn God. Feel free to join, by the way. It's one of the
were we on the religion panels?
Ooh, that sounds fun.
What, you and me?
Yeah, I'm wondering which panel I was on with you, because I'm sure it was
wasn't it the fucking...
Did it?
E1 with Star last night, or last week?
Yeah.
N-word what?
Yeah, if we were talking about eating butts and the N-word for fucking 3 hours, that's the one that I was on.
I didn't know who I was speaking to in that. It was just a great conversation. I was just there for it. I wasn't even paying attention.
I swear, I did not plan for any of that stuff.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, we were supposed to, because it was National Genocide Day, we were supposed to be doing, that today, but we kind of, Kanye announcing Fuentes kind of took over.
That's why I thought Star invited me, because I thought we were doing the N-word debate.
I thought I was doing the N-word debate too,
we kind
but
of landed where we needed to land.
Yeah,
though.
then Doobie couldn't be here for it either, and he's the one who would really fight to the death.
He's kind of the shit poster, so he'd be pretty passionate about it, basically. Yeah, that's true.
I was saying how, because I really kind of cut my teeth in the politics server, and just trolling, I was like, I can't be in there more than 5 or 10 minutes without hearing the N-word, and I was saying this to Prime, and he's like, you think he was going to save you? I'm like, no, he wasn't. And I, my editor and Doobie are in a little bit of a spat right now. Apparently, Doobie is a little bit of a sneaky character. But that's the thing is, like, I don't trust people to be like saints, right? I don't expect people to be saints. They can do fucked up shit on the back end. They can do weird shit on the back end. What I do expect, though, is them to be, like, useful, fun, or interesting. And as long as, like, you're useful, fun, or interesting, I don't give that much of a fuck. Like, as long as you're not murdering people, I don't give that much.
Hell yeah.
It's for me.
Hey,
I can meet that bar.
Back when I was
go into.
When I jumped in at the beginning, it took me a while to get in. When I jumped in, I was going in because of. That's okay. No, yeah. You can't keep your eye on all the channels at the same time. But at the time, the reason I was jumping in was because of the conversation about potential nominees for the RNC for the presidency. Yeah. And I just wanted to say, I'm not trying to steer the conversation back.
Oh, Danny, right here. But we can. We should. Ty's here. We should have a relatively serious conversation. He likes the serious shit of the memes.
Yeah. So the name that really intrigues me, and also should scare Democrats as a party, is even though people aren't talking about it right now, is Chris Sununu. I mean,
I have no idea who that is.
He's the governor of New Hampshire, Republican, blue state Republican. He survived this, gubernatorial blue wave where all these governorships were taken back in blue states. But he's the one that survived all of that. Well, no, not the one, because there's that guy in Vermont.
But doesn't that mean that he's too centrist, though?
Well, that's just it. He would win. He would absolutely win.
Win the
general election. I think he would crush any Democrat in the general. But he couldn't survive a primary the way the party is now. Yeah. But my thing is, after 3 election cycles where the same fucking thing just happened because of MAGA, and Ty just described how it worked out in the midterms, but that also happened in 2020 with Trump himself losing, 2018 with the blue wave, and I think what this third election shows, because you might expect the first 2 just based on normal political cycles, but you wouldn't expect the midterm that we just had. So that proves that the prior 2 cycles, I think, maybe weren't flukes or just a normal cycle.
I'm hoping, but they're not vocal, and that's my thing. So the electorate is coming out and kind of being like a little bit more moderate, a little bit more anti-Trump, whatever. Yeah. But there's no candidates right now who are saying like, hey, like, I agree with this, and this from the Make America Great Again platform, but this and this really bugged the fuck out of me. There's nobody being that ballsy. And I think exactly what you said, too. They'll fucking tank in a primary if they go too hard against Trump, so that's a fucking liability. But then they can't be too moderate either, or else they'll fucking lose the primaries.
Right, but I'm wondering if at some
dog
point
shit situation.
the right
Larry
combination
Hogan
of influencers says to themselves, "We're getting tired of losing, and we've got to do something." Like, look at what they did in Virginia, right? They had this person. Oh gosh, what was her name? She's called herself Trump in heels, Amanda Chase, and she was going to cruise to the nomination in Virginia. And then what the Republican Party did there is they said, you know what, we're not going to have a primary this year. We're going to have a convention, and we're going to
there's a grenade in here, guys, if you want it.
Nice. Yeah. So maybe, but we can't really do that, right, at the national level?
What they did it for Trump in 2020, like there were several primaries that got canceled, and they just said, we're nominating Trump. We're not.
I think the party would rebel. Oh my god, I liquefied that guy's head by smashing him in the face with a hammer. I fucking love this game.
Sweet.
Fucking love this game. And I just figured out how to use the hammer properly. So for those of you who are watching, the big swings, there's like a big swing, and if you hold down the mouse button, if you click it too quickly, your dude's gonna fuck up the move. But if you basically wait a second and then click it on the backswing, you can basically set up this movement where you're just swinging it horizontally back and forth.
I have ammo, by the way, guys.
If you want to drop that now, yeah, because we're about to hit a boss in a second.
Oh, that reminds me of the D&D Tarkov game. That was Dark and Dark. What was it called? It was something Dark and Darker or something, where it's like a battle royale, but
Vermintide's the word.
Well, I know about Vermintide. It had like motion-based sword combat, which is really awesome.
Yeah, there was that one that got released a while back. I forget what the fuck it was called, but there was the one where like you can parry, right? Like
Lord Howe.
Yeah. Wait. What did you say?
Lord Howe.
Lord Howe.
Or Mountain
No, there's a different one. Did you see the ones with it was like Vikings versus Samurai and shit?
For Honor.
The trailers were really good. Yeah, For Honor. So apparently that game under-delivered, but still like a really cool concept.
Yeah. No, definitely. A lot. That game was really fun too.
Dark Tide has not under-delivered for me at all. Like, a lot of people were talking shit about the beta because they were like, oh, I crashed and blah, blah, blah. I literally just charged up a Thunder Hammer, ran up to this fucking asshole right here, and fucking smacked him in his ass with a charged Thunder Hammer and sent him flying fucking 10 feet.
It's just a very, very...
You can play with the corpses, too.
Demanding game.
God, my inner sociopathic fucking 13-year-old is having such a good time.
Be careful, you're gonna summon corn demons.
Yeah, actually, not far off. Like, as a matter of fact, my character or whatever, I think a certain female dialogue line is like, blood for the emperor, like blood for the god emperor and skulls for his throne. And so like the implication is that like she unknowingly is repeating a fucking corn saying, or she straight up is a fucking an undercover corn fucking.
Yeah, the commissar's not gonna like that.
Well, they don't like anything, so yeah, God, it's so great. And also the other cool thing about the melee, like sometimes when you're doing specials on other games, you'll run out of the special. On melee weapons, you don't run out of special on this game. It's fucking great.
Yeah. Little lore thing for this game, you're playing as a penal detachment, which there are a lot of in the Imperium, for various things, including just, I don't know, the Orgrim's probably in there because he's a mutant.
Not necessarily. Like, I think they ask you about your crimes when you're creating your character.
Yeah.
But that's the thing too, is they leave the crime like really vague, and they also like very much kind of play into the fact that like your crime is sedition or insubordination or whatever. But basically they say that, like, you can headcanon it, like, if you read that little block, you can headcanon it because basically the Imperium is so fucked up that just, like, talking back to a superior could get you charged with insubordination.
Yeah.
And then, like, it, like, end you up in this fucking, basically, death sentence service.
Which there's a lot of those in the 40K setting.
God, that's so satisfying. Oh my god. I just fucking annihilated a fucking Hawkswalker's fucking head with a thunder hammer, and his body just fucking flew. It's gorgeous. This game is everything I wanted it to be.
The reviews.
Hey, Ty.
Yep.
Tomorrow, or Saturday, I guess it is tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll have the results of that Victorian election in. I think it'd be relevant to the first topic. So I might
yeah, we could do that.
I can show you on a map why it's so important.
Aiko, are you like a new part of Ty's community, or have you been around for a while?
I've been around for a few months in Prime's community, and I'm starting to get into Ty's as well.
Nice.
Yeah, just sort of whenever I have more time this week because there's no classes, and I'll probably do a lot in December.
He's always better when he has no class.
I'm going to shameless plug here for a second, because I've got, part of my community was just like, hey, we would like to have a good Twitch panel show again, and we liked yours, but, like, what's it going to take to actually do it? And I'm like, well, like, I need, like, $90 to do it with all the stuff that's, I'm sorry, I can't word today. I need about $90 to make it work, per show, because there's a lot of reaching out, talking to people. Then you actually have to do the show, which is pain in the ass for me, because anytime that's prime time on Twitch is also really good for DoorDash, which is secretly what I do. So, I've got to make calls, and so they asked me what it would be, and I had one member say, hey, I'll get you halfway there, find everybody else to get the rest. So even if I have a bad day, I'm guaranteed $45 to stay home and fucking run a show. So now every Saturday, Tiberius D is hosting Saturday Night Lights, which is going to be my panel show. We had the test run. We had the test run last week. Actually pulled off really well for something that we literally threw together that day. But on Saturday, we'll be doing a little bit of energy policy. We'll actually be talking about EVs, and if we're putting the cart before the horse and emphasizing EVs so much. And then we'll also be talking a little bit more about student loan forgiveness. So 2 topics, 2 hours with an open panel for an hour afterward.
Yeah. Well, and what's the time?
It starts at 9 p.m. EST. Actually, texted me because I was very upset that you didn't play.
I'll be in the chat.
I'll fucking... Dude, I'm gonna fucking be there. Like, I don't know... Like, not every week, but I'll fucking be there.
Right, well, I'm memeing with you a little bit. But, yeah, like, I sent you a text saying that you had an open rolling invite to come in, because, like, you're kind of a prized commodity within the community, and you know it, so...
Well, sorry, go ahead.
I think EVs are going to be a big topic just in the next few years, because they're taking off. Like, the growth rate is so...
What's going to be a big topic?
Put it on
electric
vehicles. So,
because they're hooked into, like, a fucked up grid, so, like, what's the point?
One of the main indicators has been the Department of Defense making electric vehicles within the military. So you have an all-electric Humvee, you have a hybrid electric Abrams.
Oh my gosh, thank you for the...
Remind you who's been pushing most of that for the DoD, though.
What, Democrats?
Yes. Now, here's the point where I'm going to... Like, I am not a Democrat, I don't like the Democrats, but I'm gonna give them a little bit of love. The Democrats for the last 10 years have been some of the most successful capitalists that I've seen in politics. Yeah. Because they have dumped hard fucking money behind wind, solar, and now EVs, and they're getting these things to pay off for them Because at first, it wasn't really going anywhere. Like, you dumped a lot of money in subsidies. You didn't get a lot out of it.
$750 million down the drain. Slindra.
But now, these are viable energy generation sources that do write checks. And now, literally, we're looking to where the Democratic Party has invested and now made its own business cadre that wants to support the party. Well done.
Yeah.
Well, that's just that you needed a lobby that as powerful as the oil and gas lobby in order to get it done. And if you support oil and gas on the supply side and just like you want to outcompete it on the demand side, then you can still like let oil and gas have all of its goodies and all of its subsidies and things like that. So long as you also turn around and give those same subsidies to the new industries that are eventually going to displace it.
Yeah,
that's the painless way to do it, because that way you don't get shortages in supply.
Well, what I don't like is where people are like, oh, we shouldn't be subsidizing anything, we shouldn't be researching anything, it should all be the private market. And it's like, bro, like there's some shit that's crazy expensive to research, crazy expensive to invest in, and the truth is we need some of this shit. So
get rid of oil and gas subsidies and look at what's going to happen. You think gas prices
would
are
oil
high
and
now?
gas collapse? Yeah.
Well,
So
it would get incredibly expensive. Is what would happen. Like you would have blackouts and brownouts all over the place. You would have very expensive gas. You've got to do that. You've got to do it on the back end. You've got to keep supply up for as long as possible, and then let demand drop, so that they don't have anyone who will buy the wood. That's the way to do it. But if you starve supply by saying stop drilling, don't build those pipelines, all that shit, that's a big mistake.
It's gonna be very painful.
You've got to have the pipelines. You've got to have the industry's got to continue on. People don't realize how much we're still going to depend on oil and gas, even once we get to where a majority of cars on the road are EVs.
Well, I think that's fine. Sorry, I know we should say this for Ty's panel, but I think it's
a little preview.
I think
Ty, you can come up with arguments against it.
I think you're right. Like, basically, the priority, particularly from like a security standpoint, should be like get as much like EV or hybrid, reduce like carbon production as much as possible, like for the annual carbon shit that the United States produces, blah blah blah. But then defense and heavy equipment is probably always going to need some like a good chunk of
You probably need both. I mean, I think putting batteries in some of those vehicles could be really great in terms of they get way better acceleration, for instance, and the weight is a little more oriented towards the bottom instead of towards the front, so you can balance things better. Like there are definitely vehicles that would I think an electric Jeep, for instance, is great out of it. But there are going to be some things that where you want reliability if you can't get access to electricity, things like that. If you're going to be out in the field for a long time, for weeks or months at a time, you probably want fuel in those vehicles. Maybe a hybrid where you can do both.
Well, I'm going to say goodnight to my chat. Is anybody staying awake at this point, or is everybody going to bed?
I'm probably going to be going soon as well. So.
You're up. Are you either one of you guys streaming on Twitch?
I'm streaming on Twitch.
Okay, is it still under Leith Waterguy?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, cool. Then I will read you momentarily as soon as I add you. And then I'm going to dip out. I'm going to answer whatever questions my chat has, and then I'll read you, and then we're going to dip. So I appreciate y'all. It was fun hanging out.
Before you go, one of the people in Star's chat was asking if your character has gotten a bolter yet.
I want to play that game.
Not yet. I am so fucking excited for it. All of the bolter gameplay looks great.
There are bolters. Okay, nice.
What is a bolt? This game.
Okay, hold on.
Bolter is a gun that shoots a mini rocket.
Yeah, actually, I want to hit this real quick. So you need to go. You just need to go to my channel and Counterpoints. Just type in Counterpoints. Almost 30,000 subscriber YouTube channel with the blue and gold logo. Check it out. Check it out, Astartes. That's like the sickest animation on the fucking planet that I break down. And then just check out all the lore videos and shit. You'll figure it out. But literally, just to repeat what Flam said, a bolter is a gyro jet. meaning that the way that it fires out of the bolter is it has like a mini rocket that kind of like propels it, but then it still has explosives in it as well. So it's like a rifled rocket grenade that hits the target, and then I forget if it's delayed explosion. So it basically goes into the target by a few inches and then it explodes.
Yeah.
So if it hits like a human, target, it'll like evaporate half of the body.
That's disgusting.
Yeah,
it's great.
I'll rephrase this for anyone who actually knows firearms, that when it comes down to it, it's a fucking 40mm grenade launcher that, because you have superhuman soldiers, now acts like a submachine gun. So, if you want to put armor-piercing incendiary rounds in the motherfucker, go right for it. If you want radio-controlled proximity detonation fuses, go right for it. But it shoots like a submachine gun. So it's just absolute chaos, pandemonium, and destruction.
There is, again, why 40K is just the absolute best fucking universe, man. Absolutely.
Oh, and the Astartes animation is a fan animation made by one guy.
Yeah, and actually, my recommendation, Leith Waterkai, I know you're playing right now. So Astartes is spelled Astartes. It's like a 13-minute animation. Go watch that first, and then watch the breakdown. So, because you're going to be like, this is awesome, but what the fuck is happening? So yeah.
I'm going to need some context.
Yeah.
Yep.
Seems like a really deep world, so...
Yeah, it is, and basically like my channel trailer or whatever is like a 7-minute introduction to the universe, and also I'm trying to think of what else, but basically like I would check out Astartes first, watch my breakdown second. After the breakdown, check out the channel trailer, and then after that, like, just start pulling the thread. If you want to get into the universe or whatever, you could literally just be clicking on, like, random lore videos that I did or random breakdowns that I did, and every single place that you are, you'll find something new, interesting, and cool. So, yeah.
Like the Egyptian space skeletons.
I appreciate it.
All right, cool. Then I'm going to go talk to chat. I already rated Leith Waterkai. I'll answer some questions in dip. Love you guys. Have a beautiful night. Catch you soon.
Peace out, buddy.
I'll see you guys in a bit as well. I'll talk.
Huge news, everybody. Right now, for a limited time, we have got a Black Friday deal. You can watch What is a Woman and everything we have.
This is the same fucking thing. I didn't even see this one at first. Oh my god, it's the same fucking thing. Dude, it's just like, come on. You can do better than this, okay? Listen, I believe in you. Internet J, I believe in your ability to improve yourself, to improve your content, to improve your channel. And I believe that you can become one of the greatest YouTubers of all time, okay? The great video essayists of our time, the Lemons of this world. You can be up there if you simply stop blatantly copying other people and trying to be them. And realistically, when the going gets tough on YouTube, you're not going to dig out of your hole when your channel's dying from just blatantly copying other people exactly the same. It's not going to work. I don't know why in your head you think that would work. What you're going to have to do is get less views in the short term if you want to succeed. Fucking stuttering.
That's true.
I'm a stuttering, muttering mutt, okay, because of you, Jay. You're gonna have to suffer a bit to succeed, but in the end, ultimately, things will improve if you kind of develop your own formula. My videos are not the most amazing thing in the world, okay? My main channel videos, Turkey Time videos, are not the most amazing thing in the world. I don't make the best video essays, and I'm not gonna claim that I'm the best because I'm not. I think Lemon makes better videos than me, but there are things that I do specifically.
I'm gonna be real with you. I really do like Turkey Time's videos. They're really solid. They're really well done.
Typically, they set me apart. First of all, I upload more content than anyone else. I upload a 40-minute video almost every week, an hour-long video almost every week. No one does that. Secondly, I choose my topics wisely, and my videos have a certain sense of humor to them that I add in, and the writing style is unique, the editing style is unique. It's not the same shit everyone else does. It's like over-edited trash, and they don't have to be the best. I didn't have to reinvent the wheel, okay? I didn't have to, create my own whole genre on YouTube. It's not that hard, okay? It's not like I'm suggesting that he create a new type of movie, a new type of music. All I'm suggesting is that he tried to be even slightly original, okay? All that being said, hopefully Internet J improves his shit. Hopefully he fixes things. I don't know that he will, but at least he gave us this clip.
However, viewers immediately picked up on how odd the video was. It was truly more sus than a character from Among Us.
That is the best thing that Jay's ever done.
First off, he was accused of sexually abusing and grooming minors
1 year ago.
Someone said, or Katie said, I don't know, I like 72, but dislike a Jay because he comes off as too much like me. Accept me, please. I'm a cool guy, I swear. Which makes him seem weird, annoying, and disingenuous. Maybe that's a factor, too. Maybe he's trying too hard. Shit your pants, Jay. All I have to say. Inside of your pants. A little duty. I don't even know what the fuck this guy is. Take a little duty. Take a shit in your pants. Dude, if I get up now, I get off stream, I gotta hang out with my brother-in-law. She's not that dead. Papa actually posts multiple videos over an hour at Turkey Time. Well, okay, so we do understand when Turkey Time said that he posts like 40-minute or to an hour long videos like every week, he meant he actually makes videos. I don't. I react to it. So we're very different. So let's be related. This is a long segment. This is it's a long segment. Maybe this. Where'd EDP go? I don't know if I care enough about EDP. He's a stupid piece of fucking shit. This is a video from Dan Taves. I like Dan Taves. We're friends. He's a handsome fella. I want to do this Dan Taves video. You guys want to do this Dan Taves video? This Dan Taves video. Let's do this Dan Taves video. I like Dan Taves. He's a cool guy. I think I'm going to hang out with Dan Taves when he visits. He offered to hang out with me. He thinks he visit, so give me a kiss. Anyways, Dan Taves video called The Conspiracy That Destroyed the Most Hated Website. This is Hulk Hogan, best known for saying the N-word on the phone one time. I don't know if you guys remember that. It's fucking crazy. Better known a little bit for a signature move that's just a leg drop. Come on, bro. Get a little bit more inventive. Also, he was kind of an asshole from what I heard in the WWE. Like, a lot of people are like, yeah, he's a bad guy. I think he, like, slept around with some of, like, their wives and stuff. Not a good guy. But you also got to blame the wives, too. Let's get this going.
You might be thinking to yourself right now, hey.
Yeah, I'm thinking, why is it so low? Is it me?
Did you already upload this video? Well, yes, I did. But the schmucks over at the WWE decided to copyright claim it, so it got blocked internationally. And it's more.
Oh, I saw that. I was gonna watch this video a while ago, and then I never got to it. And then I looked, and it was gone. And I'm like, oh, what happened? That makes sense.
Most of you know, I'm already fighting a lengthy legal battle with my ex-wife, and I can't afford to get into another one. So I decided just to cut the clip out and re-upload the video.
That makes sense.
Enjoy. Brother. And to that fucking snot over it.
That makes sense, brother.
Yeah, get it? Like Hulk Hogan. The WWE who claimed my video, go suck your mother. And I hope you get coal for Christmas, you rat bastard. Trashy. Sleazy.
Somebody really quick said I should do the reaction to the second part of that Dick Rolly Iceberg. It's going to be posted at 8 p.m. on this channel.
Geeky. These are just a few words that described Gawker.com. Gawker was an infamous gossip website that was popular back in the 20s.
My wife's a real Gawker, if you know what I'm saying. It's true. She's just got a good look.
Tense. Some people called it the cancer of the internet, and it didn't get that reputation for no reason. Stealing content, making up rumors, publishing private information, these were just a few of the things that made Gawker so hated. Gawker's writing team was notorious for basically ruining people's lives for views. But despite this, they were also one of the most popular media websites.
Sounds like your typical drama channel on YouTube.
It's on the internet. But one day, you fucked with the wrong guy and lost everything. A $250 million media empire. Gone. Just like that. Well, let's start from the beginning. Well, after a word from our sponsor.
Accidentally, my microphone, I said, woo.
Whoa! Hey, didn't see you there.
What is this?
Listening to my favorite song on these here Raycon Everyday Wireless Earbuds. Here, take a listen. Guys, the holidays are coming up, so don't be that schmuck that gets somebody an Arby's gift card or something like that. Get them something they're actually going to use, all right? Like some beautiful Raycons. Personally, I'm getting a pair for my mom and a pair for your mom as well. I've been using these back.
They're actually like $64 right now. Is this because of Black Friday? I get them for my wife, but like my wife refuses to use earbuds like that. She'll only use the one. She has an iPhone, and she uses that dumb converter, and that's the only way she'll use earbuds, because she's a fucking weirdo. Gawker? I hardly knew her. That's good. That's funny. I made up that joke. It wasn't someone in the chat named Kristen. That's funny. Very good.
Boys for the last week or so, and they sound delicious.
All right.
They're comfortable, and they have like...
All right, guys, go give Dan Tavis go buy that. Go buy Raycons. There's black representation in the commercial, so now you have to buy the Raycons.
To the link in the description of this video, or go to buyraycon.com/DanTavius and use the code EARLYBF to get 20% off site-wide. Or you can save even more money by getting one of their holiday bundles for 30% off. I would personally go with the everyday bundle because, you know, I'm an everyday type of guy. Now, they're going to be doing different...
I thought
for deals throughout the holiday season, so I'll keep the description box up.
Davis did a shit job at fucking. He chaptered it a little wrong. I was like, okay, Raycons, go buy him, and then I clicked through the rise part, and he's still going like a couple seconds into it.
Updated with the latest offers. So guys, go buy some.
All right, go buy Raycons.
Starting Gawker, Denton created. Well, I'll keep the description bundle because updated and thank you to an Oxford educated. Gawker.com was launched in February of 2003 by Nicholas Denton, an Oxford educated journalist. Before starting Gawker, Denton created a network.
I like the hat, by the way. I like the vibe that he's got going.
For entrepreneurs who wanted to get funding for their startups. But helping people realize their life's dreams just wasn't very fulfilling for Nick, so he decided to focus on his real passion, trashy celebrity gossip.
True. Who doesn't like a good shitstorm, bro?
I know I do.
So,
look at how thick my neck is. I'm a goblin. Sea goblin.
He sold First Tuesday, his company, for a modest...
Because I can shave my
It's $33 million and used the money to create Gawker. And right away, Nick realized that to be successful in the age of the internet, you had to set yourself apart. Most other online publications have these things called ethics and standards, but Nick threw both of those things out the window immediately. From the beginning,
my head's too fat.
Gawker prided themselves on publishing the stories that no other news site would. Stories like, the people have spoken and they think James Franco's a rapist. John Travolta's rumored gay lover discovered his dead son, and Peaches Geldof's heroin-fueled one-night stand at the Scientology Center.
What the fuck?
With pictures. You get the idea. It didn't matter if these stories ruined
Sounds like they're happening.
people's lives. It didn't matter if they weren't factually accurate. All that mattered were those sweet clicks.
Bro,
so Den did everything possible to maximize views. The first thing he did was move away from the traditional payment model of paying writers per story to instead pay them based on how many views they got. He even kind of made a game.
Interesting. Because my first thought is, that doesn't matter, right? That makes perfect sense to me. Getting paid per story. I'm getting paid for you, right? Because I get paid, you get paid basically the same way on YouTube. But then it comes into the concept of, okay, if you're getting paid per view, your incentive is to make as many views as possible, which is true. You want to get a lot of views, but then, it encourages you to sensationalize content. Right? People do that all the time on the internet. They sensationalize content for more views. A whole ethical conversation about, stuff. But ultimately, it does make sense per view to me. I get it. It's just that there's just that aspect that can be a little bad if you pay per other thing. You know what I mean? But the pay per view could have the negative impact of people sensationalizing stuff, but then, how else would you really do it? It's the most entertaining content. We just have to try to get to a point where society doesn't want sensationalized bullshit fed to them. That's the people I'm trying to build up. That's what I want.
Game out of it and set up a leaderboard at Gawker headquarters that listed every writer and how many page views they had.
It's called the Big Board, and it displays the second-by-second traffic on all of Gawker's sites.
Oh my god, what?
That's so toxic, bro. That's always looking at your YouTube analytics. That shit'll fuck you up, bro.
Popularity contest, and the bloggers know what drives traffic.
This practice basically
apparently gay men, according to this.
Popularity contest.
Well, yeah.
Is your Halloween costume racist?
Because you did that shit mission, that's why.
Girl, the secret's gay men don't want straight people to know.
What drives
Why do gay guys know something gay women don't? I don't get it.
Traffic.
This practice basically
I know that God would create the middle G-spot in the if they want something. It's the secret.
Incentivized his workers to be complete sociopaths. Whoever could write the wildest shit and get the most views would see their name at the top of that screen. And not only did they get to gloat to the rest of the office, but they were also getting paid some fat stacks. Nice. So the writers wasted no time in writing the most slanderous and scandalous articles imaginable. All in the name of clicks. From releasing confidential emails, to leaking movie scripts, to publishing the names of all the gun owners in New York City, nothing was off limits for Gawker.
What the fuck?
Almost. On July 16, 2015, Gawker published a story about an executive at Condé Nast, a media company that owns Vogue, GQ, and The New Yorker. The article accused Condé Nast CFO, who was married to a woman and had children, of paying $2,500 to a male escort to clap his cheeks.
Damn. Alright, good for you, brother. You know what I mean?
Surprisingly, Nick Denton had the article taken down within 24 hours. This was too far, even for him. In his mind, outing a public figure was one thing, but this guy was just some schmuck. So he crossed the line. And the fact that it was a competing media company didn't look too good either. So they took the article down. For the first time in its history, Gawker took an article down. But it wasn't the first.
What was the criticism? Did the guy actually get his cheeks slapped? we see it? Like, I'm just curious.
First time or the last time that they would out somebody who was in the closet. No. They actually had a long history of outing gay people going all the way back to 2007 when they famously outed tech billionaire Peter Thiel. Let me tell you, Peter was not happy about it, okay? He took that shit personally. And that was on...
I mean, I can see why. That's a hard thing to come out to. Like, you can hurt you a little bit depending on where you're at. You know, if you're a really popular or really famous billionaire guy and, you know, you're making big deals and stuff, unfortunately, there's a lot of people who are regressive pieces of shit. They might just be like, oh, you're gay. I don't know if I want to do this with you. It's real, bro. But, okay.
Only 2 people out of dozens. Nick kind of made it his life's mission to expose his shit personal. And that was only 2 people out of dozens. Nick kind of made it his life's mission to expose as many secret gays as possible. He justified it by saying, maybe because I was gay, I grew up hating open secrets. Usually if someone's gay, it's pretty open... Is
that how he says it? Is that how he talks?
Fuck. Terrible British accent. I don't know.
By the way, Dan Tavius, why aren't you answering me back about playing World of Warcraft together, you fucking dick?
Maybe because I was gay, I grew up hating open secrets. Usually if someone's gay, it's a pretty open secret. Their friends know, their family knows. But out of some misplaced sense of decency, nobody talks about it.
I don't know, bro. I'm not sure that's true. I know some gay people who just won't come out because they don't want to deal with it, you know?
Generally, my view is that let's just have it out. The truth will set you free. That's what I believe. So he took it upon...
Yeah, try that in fucking Arkansas, bro. And it'll set you free from your fucking mortal body. Some of these fucking people are crazy.
...himself to make this decision for others. But this wasn't really surprising because Gawker didn't think that public individuals had any right to privacy at all. And they made this clear...
Yeah, dude, it's fucked, man, because people do. It's crazy how much people speculate on, like, the weirdest shit, like, personal stuff. It's like, bro, like, that's okay. It's crazy. Just because somebody's popular doesn't mean that every part of their life is open to fucking public arena.
When they launched the Gawker Stalker map, which, according to Gawker themselves, was a way to visually pinpoint the location of every stalk-worthy celebrity as soon as they're spotted. Here's how it worked. Anybody that saw a celebrity randomly around town would email tips at Gawker.com.
There's no way I'm going to be able to do this now.
After which every lunatic in the area could see where that person was.
Tell everyone what you do. What goes...
That has wool? After which every lunatic in the area could see where that person was.
Oh shit, I'm on my way. It's right here, dude. I'm on my way.
Tell everyone what you do, what goes on your website.
The Gawker Stalker map tells you where celebrities have been sighted in New York City at any given time.
People are out and they have their cell phones. They can send a little message to you and say, I just saw Gwyneth Paltrow at the movies, and that way, when Gwyneth Paltrow comes out of the movies, there could be at least a dozen psychopaths waiting for her. My problem is, you post things that simply aren't true on the site, and you do no checking on your stories whatsoever. There was a story about me that popped up on my Google search and said, wait, isn't Jimmy Kimmel visibly intoxicated? There was a story about, I don't maybe...
Well, in their defense, Jimmy Kimmel he's always squinting. He always looks visibly intoxicated.
Be funny to you, but I didn't find it that amusing.
So as you can see,
there we go.
I get that. That's fucking that's an asshole. Oh damn, he fucking girl look, bro. The good days of Jimmy Kimmel, back when he used to do blackface every day. Who did he used to pretend to be? A black basketball player. Fun times. The Man Show. He'd be hard. You know what I'm saying?
Gawker was definitely not afraid to do things that other publications would consider highly unethical. Taking anonymous tips, revealing sources, violating privacy, even straight up posting stolen content.
It's funny taking anonymous tips, but then revealing sources and that go against each other. No, but anonymous, like usually they won't give you their tip. What a lot of these people will do is they'll get a reputable source and they won't give out the source, but it's like we got it from a reputable source, and then it's like a publication that's credible. They don't need to give you the source; they just need to know that source is credible. So outing the sources is probably not a very good idea. Taking an anonymous tip, which sounds like nobody, that's not a credible source, you know? It sounds like they'll basically do whatever the fuck they can to get anything to work, you know? That's like somebody who gets like some random bullshit tip from somebody, and they're like, well, somebody said it, I'm just reporting on what the person said. It's like, okay, bro. You know, try doing a little bit of research and like fact-checking your shit. It's like, it's embarrassing for you.
They also borrow without remorse. Most posts are cannibalized items taken from other sources, repackaged, topped off with catchy headlines.
Hey, sounds like Rise and Fall videos. Thank you.
At the end of the day, none of that stuff mattered as long as the views kept coming in.
True.
Let me tell you, the views were coming. Because despite their lack of morals and ethics, people were eating this shit up, okay? Gawker was one of the most popular media outlets on the internet. At one point,
isn't that so fucked, though? Isn't that so fucked? Because, like, we sit here and we blame Gawker for not being credible, which is true. They deserve, obviously, getting blamed for that. But then we, like, when do we start blaming the people for consuming it? It's like the media. We're like, oh, the media is so dishonest. Blah, blah, blah. They're such shit. Oh, true. But these motherfuckers, who's consuming it? People who love this dishonest, sensationalized fucking insanity. Also, dumb people assuming they think it's real. But how much is the audience to blame for wanting a fucking bloodbath? You know, it's like criticizing the Romans, the Roman Empire, for doing like gladiator things where they would kill slaves. But people loved it. When do we blame those people? You know, it's crazy. There's got to be a balance.
Almost $500 million a month, and Nick Den was building up his media empire. Aside from Gawker.com, Gawker Media, the parent company, also owned Gizmodo, Jezebel, Deadspin, Kotaku, and of course, Flesh.
We like to think that we've collectively moved past things like animal cruelty, that our species has evolved far beyond the grotesque tradition of abusing lesser beings for entertainment. After all, concepts such as circus animals have largely died off, or have at least become few and far between. But just because most of the suppliers of zoo sadism have been pushed into extinction doesn't necessarily mean the same for its consumers. And unfortunately, as we'll come to find out today, they're far from being eradicated. The internet, being the all-purpose tool that it is, has given these sick people a new way to get what they want, and to get away with it. This shouldn't come as a surprise, considering some people manage to procure other disturbing content, sometimes even right under our noses, and even market it to children. You've probably heard of the topic of today's video before, but if you haven't, you'll be wishing you never did. This is the story of the community that grew around the YouTube phenomenon of baby monkey hate, also known as Million Pity or Million Tears, a name they've earned due to the broken English in the titles of many of the videos. If you are squeamish about the topic of animal abuse, I urge you not to continue watching. Viewer discretion is advised. YouTube, ever since the beginning, has been very heavily associated with videos of animals, whether it be pets or wildlife. The very first video uploaded, after all, was of Jod, one of the founders of YouTube, at the zoo.
Alright, so here we are, one of the elephants. Cool thing about these guys is that they have really, really long trunks, and that's cool.
If you're old enough to remember, some of the biggest videos on the platform were just that, so it followed that many people who worked with animals started creating channels dedicated to their profession in hopes of gaining a viewership. Obviously, all of this was innocent, and is rightly remembered as such. However, in 2011, 24/7 Wildlife Broadcasting Network, Wild Earth, uploaded a video called Induna the Male Leopard Catches a Baby Monkey. This video was exceedingly different from the kind that would usually get popular, since it was quite literally the opposite of cute. Yet, within a year of its upload, it had already garnered over 100,000 views, which, for the time, was a pretty big number. Nowadays, the video has over 900,000 views. So, what's happening here?
It's going to be quite distressing for, I think, some viewers, but this is unfortunately part of life and part of nature, and this is how cats react. And if you think about your pet cats at home, it's no different to what cats do with birds and mice and things like that. It's just on obviously a larger scale.
Well, if you check out an old snapshot of the video on archive.org, or just peruse the comments from back then, you start to see something strange. A few of the comments visibly came from a playlist called Torture House Monkeys. Most of the comments make sense given the context of the video, but further inspection still shows a few odd outliers. One deleted comment from an account called I Hate Monkeys 666 said something that was apparently shocking enough to result in another commenter saying the following: "Wow, serious hate. Hope you're joking. Could comment more, but I guess there's no point really." Apparently, this deleted account in particular commented on multiple other videos of the same genre, and although we can't see what the comments were, we can see the replies they got. One person said, "I'll help it. Now, where did I put my .22? Referring to a .22 caliber firearm. Another remarked, "You need to start taking video of that," presumably meaning that whatever sadistic acts I Hate Monkey 666 described in their original comment, this person wanted them to actually film it. If you try using time filters on Google to look for monkey hate, you'll see that before the 2010s, there was nothing whatsoever about it, other than a few PETA protests over labs that ran test trials on monkeys. This is because, at that time, these interactions were relatively atypical and weren't indicative of any larger trend or community. But, as time went on, something much bigger and uglier would rear its head. When the 2010s rolled around, for whatever reason, the pastime of baby monkey hate exploded, and opposed to it being just a few outliers like in the past, thousands of people spontaneously began rallying around any and all videos wherein monkeys, specifically baby monkeys, were suffering in one way or another. You can see for yourself just how popular this content is by looking up baby monkey hate, or other similar terms on YouTube, where you'll find videos with hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views. There are even playlists that compile dozens of these videos, titled things like Monkey Having a Bad Time, or Tormenting Baby Monkeys. For the longest time, all of this flew right under the radar, since most of the videos weren't of explicit torture, but were instead just documenting natural occurrences in the wild or in captivity. Yet still, people commented saying the most vile things imaginable. Could watch this all day. I hate monkeys, especially their babies. Love how he toys with it and makes it suffer in pain and fear before he ends its disgusting little life. Kill that fucking squealing piece of shit rat. Whatever the content of the video, whether innocuous, such as in the case of baby monkey tries to hang on to his mom, or darker, like this monkey was hit by a vehicle, the comments are the same.
I love to see
me with that. Oh, like I was so pissed. And at the end of that show, I said something. I was like, what the fuck? Like, you don't understand, like, blah, blah. I don't remember exactly what I said, because I was really mad. And I said, like, I had an abortion. Like, you're fucking calling me a murderer. And Tim, of course, like, put on his best white knight outfit. And I was like, you can't talk to her like that. And I'm like, I have to talk about this. Like, I have to get this off my chest. I have to talk about the things that are bothering me. I have to be live with this woman every day. Like, I can't not talk about this shit. And that was like basically the end, right, of that interaction. And I left the room. And Nisha and I think we went out for dinner or something, and I didn't see Tim, I didn't see Lydia. And I woke up the next day, and I had a message from Tim. And he said, yo, you can't snap at Lydia like that. Which I found that really fucking rich. Because he would yell at Lydia so loudly for fucking up the thumbnails, fucking up the timing, fucking up the algorithm of his baby. I mean, everyone in the house could hear this shit. And this was going on for months. Like, he would fucking scream at her. It was scary. Like, he would get so angry and yell and scream at her for fucking up. And it's like, that shit's abusive on both sides. Like, I feel like they were being abusive to each other. And it was fucked up. But then he came to me and said, you can't yell at her like that. You can't yell at her about her fucking up her job. And I was like, I've never yelled at her for fucking up her job. He's like, yeah, and you don't do it tactfully. I'm like, every single time she's ever fucked up, this is true, I would call her out. The very second the show ended, I said, hey, you really need to make sure when I'm talking, you move the button to me. Or when you hit the button to change the camera to me, because she's the one who was doing that. Or when Tim starts talking, you really need to make sure it's not on my face, just like sitting there. Like, I was very aware of that, to the point where I had Tim get me my own Stream Deck so I could force the camera to change. That's how often she fucked up that shit. And it's like, Tim yelled at her 10 times. I can't even count how many times he screamed at her. Like, it was not even yelling, it was screaming. Like, it didn't matter where you are in the house. You heard him fucking blow up on Lydia. I don't know why she stayed. Probably because she was in love with him. But so that morning, when he said that to me, I was like, Tim, I need to be able to work this shit out. I need to be able to vent and get to like a resolution if I'm gonna work with somebody. Like I can't do this, you know. And he's, you know, it was like a conversation that he was coming from a place of Adam wants to get rid of Lydia, and I was coming from a place of I don't give a shit if Lydia does suck as a producer, and I didn't choose her to be my producer for this show. And you did meet her on Instagram in DMs when she slid into your DMs, which is true, by the way. You know, like, it would have been nice if you actually hired a professional producer, you know, because we had a really good quality show. That would have been nice to have an actual producer, not a nurse from bumblefuck America somewhere. I don't even know where she's from. And I said, like, if you're going to push this issue, I'm happy to walk away. Now, my issue was being able to resolve my problems with Lydia. Now, Tim saw that and said, that's an ultimatum, get rid of Lydia or get rid of me. Which is not what I said. It's not where my head was at. Granted, I would have happily had him get rid of Lydia in a fucking heartbeat. Absolutely. Well, he responded with, well, then we're done. The show's done. Show's over. And I was like, seriously? Like, that's it? And there's a long conversation. And I won't get into the details of it. Because that's between Tim and I. But that was it. That was, you know, what I saw. And I was like, okay. So Nisha and I, we went for a drive. And we went to a diner, we were talking about it, and like, I was like, man, you know, maybe I did blow up. Maybe I am like, getting triggered because of myself and not Lydia. And I'm the one making the big deal out of it. And to this day, maybe that's true. You know, maybe I was dealing with inner issues. But I had nowhere to go. We were all stuck in this house for fucking months. You know, and all I was seeing, there was a freaking, his assistant would spy on everyone. Like, there was a literal spy in the house. You'd be, like, talking privately with someone, and she would walk around the corner and sit down and be like, oh yeah, that thing you said, like, 2 minutes ago, like, I have something to say about that. I know about that. And it was like, what the fuck? So there was this constant feeling of, like, being spied on in this house. Every single person in the household, other than me, because I didn't give a shit, walked around Tim on eggshells because they were so deathly afraid of being fired. You know, yes, man, Tim. Yes, Tim. Yeah, of course, Tim. Everybody acted like he was like this fucking, I don't know, cult leader or some shit. I'm not calling him a cult leader, but that's the vibe I got, right? It's weird. So I heard that while I was at the diner, Tim called Joe Rogan and said, Joe, what should I do? What do I do, Joe Rogan? You are my idol, the person I want to be. And I don't know what he said exactly in that instance, but he asked him about me and what he should do. And he told Joe that I gave him an ultimatum, fire Lydia or I'm walking, which is not the case. And Joe said, wow, you got to fire him. You can't have someone that's going to jeopardize your business, which I found very rich. Now, I didn't find out about this until later. I think he told Nisha to tell me, because I think he wanted me to know, like, oh, it was Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan told me to do it, so I did it. Now, you could have changed. You could have, well, whatever. I'll let you take with that what you will. So that night, I don't know if you remember the community post on Timcast, but there was a fairly lengthy post. I don't have a screenshot of it. I didn't really feel like trying to find it, you know, although I know the date. But basically what it said was, Adam will no longer be on the Timcast IRL show. Someone, I don't remember how they worded it, but it was basically saying like he needed to air out his dirty laundry, or like he'd never aired out his dirty laundry, something along those lines, some snarky ass shit, which I know Lydia probably fucking put. And immediately on Twitter, she put out this tweet that everyone was like, oh shit, she's talking about Adam. She absolutely was talking about me. Like, make sure you do your dirty laundry, kids. Like she's some sort of moral mom that anyone should want to listen to. Jesus. Anyway, at that moment, I fucking never saw her again. She could be in the room with me and I wouldn't see her. I, like, X'd her out of my life. Like, I do not give a fuck about Lydia. I have zero respect for her as a human being. And, you know, it sucks because I liked her at first. Like, you know, she seemed nice. You know, she seemed... But a lot of people seem nice. You know, a lot of people want you to see the nicer side of them and convince you that they're actually nice and that you can trust them. You know, there's many people like that out in the world. And it's always a shame, you know, when you see the real person inside. You know, anyone has the capacity for evil, right? Anyone. So yeah, that sucked. That was that really sucked. I feel like I'm missing some stuff. Hold on. I feel like that was the preamble, right? That was the chunk. Now, a lot of people probably will ask, and I even asked myself, why the hell did I stay? Why the hell did I stay? I did not want to stay. I wanted to fucking leave. I was ready to bounce. I was ready to pack up and fucking leave. But the thing is, I uprooted my wife two times already in a year, and I uprooted her for Tim twice. And she's a music producer. She went to school for music, and she was producing Tim's music. One of Tim's songs, you might know it, "Will of the People." Actually, I like a lot of Tim's songs. Actually. Words of the Book is fantastic. I love that song. I have the words somewhere. I should remember that. But anyway, Will of the People, right? And it wasn't done yet. She had been working for months producing the song for Tim, and it wasn't done. She had hired her friends in Sweden who did all the artwork for that music video. Many of you might have seen it. And I wanted to let her finish. And Tim, it was so odd, because Tim, he acted as if nothing bad happened. It was very odd, and I mean, looking back, I'm very grateful for that, because he let me use his cameras. I didn't have anything. He let me use the computer. Like, I literally had nothing, right? He let me set up my studio in the basement. Like, it was confusing. I mean, it's taken me a long time to actually, like, look back at it and process it all. So it's like, on one side, it felt like Tim still cared about me, like, still cared about our friendship. Shit, I forgot a very important conversation. I gotta go back to the day I was fired, because that adds to my confusion, right? So after I went to the diner and Tim called Joe Rogan, right? I went up to them. I say them because, of course, Lydia was in the room. And I apologized to Lydia. I said, you know, I said to Tim, like, I didn't realize how much my abortion that I had affects me, and how much I was getting triggered by her saying this shit. And Tim said, I don't believe you. And that was that was basically him pulling his pants down and shitting on me, on my friendship with it. It's like, I mean, I don't give a shit if the bridge is burned. You know, like, whatever. That right there was the biggest thing to me. Because I value friendship. I value people who are loyal and honest with me. You know, if you got my back, I will ride to the end of the earth for you. That's just how I am, right? If you're cool to me, I'll be cool back to you. But when you like go above and beyond and just shit on something that like is, I mean, I'll never get over that. That was really a shitty feeling. He said, I think you're just using this to get rid of Lydia. And mind you, like I said, like I would have happily had him fire her for me to stay. That would have been great. But I also would have been fine with her staying and me continuing to do the show. I was like, and then I weighed my friendship. I said, you know, man, like, we've been friends for 7 years, and like I really feel, and he cut me off. He's like, we haven't been friends that long. And it was like, damn. Okay, so you don't believe me. We haven't been friends that long. Like, what the hell is your friendship anyway? And it was just like, at that point in that conversation, I didn't care anymore. I was like, fine, actually. If you're acknowledging that to me, like you basically telling me that you don't give a shit about my feelings or our friendship at all, then like, alright. And I looked at him, and the last thing I said to him was, you know, this show is bigger than this, right? It's bigger than you and me. We're showing the world that friends can disagree and argue and still laugh and still have a little whiskey and jam on a Friday night. And you know, he's proving that wrong. Like, the world is so divided, especially in 2020. I mean, even now, I don't feel like that divide has changed at all. I don't think it's necessarily gotten worse. I feel like it's just there. It exists. And the Timcast show really showed that, you know, we could be friends and shit on each other. And we did. I mean, I shit on Tim all the time. It was a lot of fun. Tim's fun to make fun of. And I'm not saying that out of spite. I was friends with him, and I made fun of him. It was fun. Like, he's very easy to make fun of. But he takes it in stride. He doesn't care. You know, so all those Twitter people that get mad when I poke fun at him, it's like, why are you guys thinking that I'm doing it out of spite? I literally did it every single day for years. And then it was publicized, and people laughed at it, thought it was funny because they thought we were friends. But now that they don't know the story of what happened, suddenly I'm like spiteful and petty and all this shit. It's like, no. I poke fun at people that deserve it. Especially the people that I'm closer to. Now, my relationship with Tim is fucking weird now, because like we don't talk, yeah? But I'm not angry at Tim. I'm saddened by this whole thing. I didn't want to end the show. I didn't want that. I didn't want it to be awkward, because it was. So when he came to me like 2 days later, we hadn't spoken. He took the day off, I guess, and then I think Friday he did the show with just Lydia. And everyone, shout out to every single person who said no Adam, no peace. You guys are the best. Shout out to all of you. Thank you very much for that. That meant a lot. because people were telling me. They would hit me up, like, where are you? No Adam, no peace. I saw it online for months. I still see it, which is so cool. Like, people still remember that and still compliment me on how much they loved the show that was Timcast IRL with me, because it's a different show. And I find it interesting, too, because in that I read this conversation with Tim. You know, and he tells me that the show wasn't what he wanted it to be. He wanted it to be guests. Now it's him and I. And it's like, he wants to be you want to be Joe Rogan. You want to be like this, like, you know, interviewer guy with guests. Well, hey, Tim. Joe Rogan listens to his guests. And he also lets them speak. It's pretty important. Just a little bit of advice. If you're going to listen to Joe Rogan for advice, which you obviously do, maybe you should take that advice. So I stayed. And before I even was fired, Tim was in the process of buying another house in Maryland. The Cass Castle, as I dubbed it. That's right, I came up with that name. No, I did. Nisha's trying to say it was her. But anyway, no, get out of here. It's my show. I named it. Anyway, so after I named it Cass Castle, we weren't sure we were going to move, though, you know, because she was finalizing it. It was like they were going to move. I mean, see, it's so weird. It's so confusing because, like, Tim was, it's like he wanted to be my friend, but he didn't want to resolve anything. And I couldn't do that. It was very difficult for me because I'm the type of person that if I have an issue with you, I'm going to say something. And if I don't, it gets to the point where I'm like, I'm just not going to talk to you anymore. Like, if we can't resolve it, like, it just makes me uncomfortable. Like, I want to talk about it. I have friends in New York who called me honest asshole because I would be blunt as shit about everything and call people out. And you saw it live. I mean, that's what I did to Tim. I would call him out constantly. And he fucking hated it. I know he did. I can't tell you how many times he blew up at me telling me to shut the fuck up, that I don't know what I'm talking about. About issues that are stupid. Like, why are you... he said that to me once. This is before I got fired, and I was like, dude, you can't fucking talk to me like that. What the hell? I don't even remember what it was about. I think he said, no, I remember now. Donald Trump pardoned Roger Stone. And Tim said, that's it. Tim's done. Or, not, Trump's done. Trump just threw his career in the trash. And I was like, what? No. Like, what, because of that? And he turned and said that to me. And I was like, it shocked me. Now, the election is another story. I hear that he believes it was fair and square. I don't watch the Timcast IRL show, guys, I'll be honest. I've never watched it. I was on it, and then I wasn't on it. I can't be bothered. It might be a little bit better now that you don't hear, yeah, uh-huh, yes, Tim, exactly, Tim, right? Fuck, God, I can't stand the sound of her voice. Maybe I'm being a little petty there. Alright, I'll admit that. That's fine. But I don't care. I'll be petty with her. Because, she's gross. Anyway, I don't want to talk about her anymore. Tim, he offered to let me use his stuff. He offered for me to live in the Jersey house after he moved out. Probably because he felt bad that I moved my life here. And for her to continue doing music. Which was actually very tempting. Like, alright. You know, so it was a confusing time because I was like, I wanted to be Tim's friend. We were friends, but like this stuff wasn't resolved for me. And it's like he just wanted to go back to when it was good and have this like, you know, bro friendship, skating and stuff happen. What? Before we moved to Maryland? Yeah, but I thought that was later. I thought that was in Maryland at that point. I don't even remember that. So, well, I guess she's got the better memory than me. That's the only time you're ever going to hear me say that. Damn it. Shit, she's got it recorded. She's going to play that segment to me whenever we have an argument. Like, who came up with the word Cast Castle, which is me, by the way. She's going to be like, who has the better memory? Damn it, I gave her that. Well, I mean, honestly, I always had hoped that I'd be back on the show. I mean, I didn't believe that I was truly kicked off the show because it was so successful. You know, like, it worked so well. You know, it's like we were locked in with COVID. You know, it's like Tim blew his fucking top towards Lydia in more ways than one. I meant more times than more than one time. Sorry, bad joke. On the nose, but bad joke. So it's like, what? Because I got upset one time? No, man. You were sick of paying me as much as you did because the show was doing better and better and better. He told me I have an ego issue with the day he fired me. He said I have an ego problem. Me? I had the ego problem, Tim? Seriously, dude? Fuck out of here. So I guess a part of me always wanted to be back on the show. I wanted that energy back because it worked, and I was willing to do it because, as I said, this is what I told Tim. You know, that it was bigger than us. It was a show that showed two friends that could freaking poke and prod each other and still be friends. And at the end of the day, the world needs to see that. We have to understand that you can disagree and it's okay. You don't have to just suddenly become mortal enemies because this person voted for Trump and this person voted for Biden or this person didn't vote at all. You know, it's like, okay, I'd rather there be informed voters than uninformed voters that vote blind. That's a different conversation. It really boiled down to a trip that me and Nisha took with Alice, Tim's girlfriend. Or former, I'll be honest, I don't know. At the time, his girlfriend. And we went hiking and we went tubing. She needed to get out of the house. And she was like, I know you guys need to get out of the house too. Come with me. Because we were friends. She was really cool. And we did. And we went down, we went to this, they got an Airbnb in a cabin somewhere. It was freaking rad. We stayed there for a weekend. And on the way back up to Jersey, we stopped at the new Maryland house. Because at that time, they finalized the purchase for this place, which I guess got doxxed right away, which is really sad. Because, like, and shitty, pardon me, because I know Tim went through a lot to try to get a house, like, off the beaten path that no one knew about. So it's kind of sad that someone doxed it right away. But, you know, we were there, and Allison, she was dealing with Lydia because Lydia was making her jealous. Dude, Lydia would walk in the room, Tim is sitting next to Allison, and sit at Tim's feet and massage Tim's feet with Allison sitting next to Tim. That's fucking weird, man. And like Allison would like look at Tim and Tim would be like, life is good, you know? It's like, dude, like that's weird, man. She's your producer. Like, what? Wait, that's your girlfriend. Like, what the fuck is happening right now? Man, And now that I'm like digging back through this. So the last couple weeks, I've been opening all of my memories and talking to Nisha, and she's helped me like write down a lot of the stuff that, she was living there too. She saw all this as well as I. These little comments, the way that Lydia would flirt with Tim and with guests, and I know it happened with Luke later on with his girlfriend. Like, she would flirt with him. I heard, I'm not going to say names, that she threw herself at someone and they denied her, and that someone got fired like the next day. That's what I heard. But anyway, Allison was like, I can't stand this. Like, I'm going nuts. And like, I would like it if you guys came as well. Because she liked us. We were all friends. Like, we all got along really well. She wanted us to come, and Nisha was still working on that song. It wasn't done yet because, it was in the finalizing process when they were all moving. And there was an in-law suite. And Tim was like, yeah, take the in-law suite. That's great. I was like, that's pretty awesome. So, like, I feel like in the back of my mind, I was like, Tim's clearly cool with me. It feels like he wants me to be a part of this still. And I think he did. I think he really did want that. So we decided to move to Maryland as well. So we moved to Maryland, and I officially moved. Like, all my stuff was still in Arizona. We hadn't moved officially to Jersey. And we went out to my spot in Arizona, and we rented a freaking massive truck, packed all of our stuff, like everything, right? Like, we got all of our stuff. Like, we full on moved into this in-law suite. And it was beautiful. It was freaking awesome. And actually, that was a really nice time, because I was doing my show. Nisha had her own freaking beautiful office, because the house is really dope. I'm sure you might have seen it. You might have followed the Cast Castle. I don't know if how much of the house they've shown the internet, but it's freaking cool. And like, Tim decked it out all over the place. There's like a movie station. There's an indoor skate ramp. This place was freaking a bachelor's paradise, But I got to live in there with my wife, which, by the way, is where we met Osiris, which is our cat who came with us. She adopted him officially, and he came with us. And that was the best thing to come out of that place. And I don't normally it's like right here. I've got a little cat bed. So we move in to Maryland, and there's a lot that started going on in the Maryland house. And the beauty for me was I was very far removed from it, because I was in the in-law suite, and we had our own entrance, we had our own garage door, so I never saw anybody. I never had to see Lydia, who lived in the house. I very rarely saw Tim, although we did skate sometimes. And he started rollerblading and got me rollerblades, which was very cool of him. He clearly wanted to be my friend still, And
sell more.
I'm not gonna lie,
sell
there was a piece of me that
sell faster.
Wanted that friendship too, because it's very competitive. Very, very competitive. That's why I can't play Magic with him anymore. But like, playing sports, like skateboarding especially, it's an interesting sport because you're competing against yourself, but when you have someone that you're skating with that's also really competitive, you kind of like, you progress so much faster. So because of Tim, I became such a better skateboarder, and a rollerblader actually. I liked rollerblading.
And scumbag,
but I wasn't really good.
He took more bribes than anyone.
Trick
He's
rollerblader.
gonna get an honorable discharge if he turns dead evidence. He just squealed. He's under armed protection in Witch's property down in Newport. Some apartment in a car park. Talks that way.
Oh yeah.
Make sure he never talks to nobody.
I can't say any of this stuff. You know, there's certain things that like aren't my story to tell. Crazy shit that happened though, dude. It was that like if that whole house was a Big Brother episode or season, like if they truly were honest and like talked about the shit that was going on, that would be more viral than anything Tim has ever done. I'm not joking. It's crazy. But then Tim hired a longtime friend of his. She was awesome. She is awesome. I don't know if I'm gonna keep names out of it, but she was fantastic. I really got along with her. Nisha got along with her. She dated Ian for a while. Cool. Like they were like a super hippie couple. But Tim hired her for HR.
I know a real important man in town, a soft touch with, shall we say, exotic tastes, the money to indulge them. He's involved in a legal matter. The prosecution has some rather embarrassing photos of him at a Moore party.
Basically, like something. You know, like rugs in a house. You gotta shake them out every so often. Airing your dirty laundry, if you will. Which I love to do. I love airing my dirty laundry. I like getting it all out of the air, because then I can move forward and be clear. Part of the reason why I'm doing the show right now. Well, she wanted to clear the air. She saw a lot of pent-up angst, and she saw issues like Lydia not having an NDA, and maybe, you know, exposing Tim or lying about Tim. That's what I think was really a threat. Like, she could have said, you know, that Tim forced her, you know, into anything, and like, boom, Tim would have been canceled. But like, no, she loved him, you know, and like, it was consensual as far as I can tell, anyway, right? Again, I never saw them. The door was closed. A lot of times, that's all I know. You know, it's not like I saw them doing stuff. But, anyway, she wanted to clear the air. She wanted to clear the house. And, you know, through the conversations that she was having with everyone, including us, because we were part of that company. You know, we were in the house, so we were involved. She started ripping those carpets up and basically causing trouble because nothing was resolved. And to resolve it, you got to talk about all of the stuff, right? And I don't feel like Tim wanted to do that. He just wanted to, like, work hard and do what he does best, which is report the news. He's very good at his job. I mean, man, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Like, that guy really is incredible at news, right? He researches nonstop. I thought I researched a lot, like, after the fact. But, like, looking back, like, damn, he's a workaholic. That man never stops working. You know, it's like, but that's his focus, right? He's focused on that. It's very like, I don't have time for anything. I gotta work. He's got, what does he do, like 4 episodes or 4 shows a day about different subjects, and then the live show, which, you know, guests, I'm sure he's got people doing it for him now, but anyway, that started causing a ruckus, and, you know, she started catching people stealing. Some people got fired. Man, there's so much that she had to do, but she realized that Lydia was kind of like got a hold over Tim, right? Because like he couldn't get rid of her because she is a threat. Like she could have said some shit. She could have lied about Tim and like said something that like who's to say it, right? I mean, I would come in defense of Tim, because I feel like she wanted to be a part of that, and she chose to be a part of that. But anyway, you know, this is just where I was at the time. So yeah, she was in there flipping up the carpets. Let's see here. Right. So there was a couple conversations about Lydia, and she started talking to Tim about it, right? And bringing it up, and you know, she was confronting Lydia, and then started confronting her about Allison, and Lydia fucking called Allison a cow, like so, like a freaking, just like the HR girl. Like Tim brings in the HR department basically, and Lydia, the producer, calls Tim's girlfriend, who became the high-ranking person in the company. Like Tim promoted her to something to help like work with the company and whatnot. I don't know the details because like, and even if I did, I don't know if I, you know, it's like it doesn't matter. You know, she was a person that everyone worked for with Tim. You know, it was Tim and Allison. And like Lydia called her a cow, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you? That's the HR girl, right? And when she told Tim this, the next day, she wasn't HR anymore. It's like, okay, that wasn't what I was expecting, but all right, whatever. And this is when I met Eliza for the first time. Shout out to Eliza Blue. If you guys don't know who Eliza is, she's amazing. She is fighting for human trafficking victims, child abuse victims. She is on the front lines every single day. Amazing. Shout out to Eliza. She's amazing. But anyway, she was a guest on my show, virtually, like I do with many of my guests. But she happened to be coming for the Tim Cast show. And I was like, oh, you gotta stay an extra day and do my show. Like, you're here. Like, we gotta do like an in-studio guest appearance, which was awesome, you know. And we ended up being really good friends, and you know, we had a fun night. We went live on Twitter, and we were like all buzzed, laughing and like making jokes, and we were like drunk on Twitter. It was a really funny night. But we were talking about it all, and you know, she was like, "Oh man, yeah, everything. Y'all need NDAs, right? Especially her." It's like, yeah, I think so too. And you know, that actually might have happened before Tim's friend, the HR girl, came into play, because you know, I feel like me and Nisha, we were like,
oh my god, I hate this fucking car.
Because we had our own peaceful place. Like, Nisha has an incredible aesthetic with our house and all of our homes that we've had, but obviously now our house, because we own this place. But it was very peaceful, right? You walk in and it was like calming. Number one, because we get along very well together. We have very good energy together. You know, we like peace. You know, we like things to be, you know, there's nothing hidden. It's very open. And when you have a relationship like that, the environment that you live in feels the same way. And I feel a lot of people came to our spot to vent. And that's how I heard a lot about what was going on in the house, because I didn't go over there. But people would come in and like sit and be like, can I like talk to you for a little bit? Because I knew everybody, and I knew about what was going on, and I would give advice. Because I liked most of the people there, you know, and I didn't want. I was trying to air my grievances with Lydia, right? Even though all the shit that like the annoyances that I had with her, the reason I blew up on her was I was trying to like, I need you to know that you're making me feel this way, right? So we can resolve it, so that I can be live on air with you in front of tens of thousands of people. I think 500,000 people showed up for our last show, the last show that I was on. It was like, there's so many people. I mean, like, I can't have this, like, nagging in the back of my head that I can't stand.
Is there any way I can avoid this mission now? I do not like it whatsoever.
Right, I need to
and
get
I
that
wish
shit
there
out
was something else I can
so
do
that
in the game.
humbles herself a little bit. Like, chill the fuck out.
Because God, this is hell.
You're no one that anyone should look up to at all. And here you're acting high and mighty. Anyway, I don't need to like go through that again, but so me, Tim, Lydia, or not Lydia, me, Tim, Allison, and Nisha were out to dinner. Now, this is early 2021. I didn't document this stuff, right? I didn't write down in my journal when these things happened. But there was some time after this, and we were out to dinner, and Tim, me, and Allison and Nisha were basically saying like you need an NDA. Like, she is a problem. Like, you could get it, like, shit could hit the fan. And he agreed. And I was shocked. It's like, yeah, she is a ticking time bomb. It's like, wow. That felt really good to hear, right? Because I know I wasn't alone, because a lot of other people agreed with me. Not the internet, like, in that circle. You know, that she was an issue, and that she, you know, she was just causing issues because she would be jealous of anyone that Tim was giving attention to, or that would give attention to Tim, like a jealous ex-girlfriend, which she was. I mean, literally, she was. Like, they worked like together for in this weird like relationship that was going on, while her husband was like in Europe somewhere, going to veterinary school or something. It's like, okay. So he admitted it. He finally admitted. It's like, wow, that feels good. And, you know, he was like, I don't know what to do. And Nisha was like, I'll work the cameras. I went to school for audio. I'll do the mics and the cameras. It's fine. And I was like, I'll walk back on that set tomorrow. It was the weekend, so like Monday. You know, I was waiting for that. That's what I was waiting for. I'm like, this is actually happening. We got back, and I remember having this big fucking cheesy grin on my face. Do you remember how happy I was that night, Nish? What did he say? I don't remember. The compliment sandwich? Right, oh yeah. Yeah, he wanted to give her the compliment sandwich. I forgot about that. Yeah, he was scared of her. She had control of him. It's like he admitted she was a time bomb. And I hear she's not with that company anymore, which is, I'm grateful for him. I don't trust her. I mean, I've told this story before. I had a friend in high school who was falsely accused of rape and went to prison for 2 years. And then she was eventually so guilty about it that she fessed up. She didn't get in trouble at all, and he lost 2 years of his life. A good man. Shout out to Antoine. What's up, dog? He's living a happy life, though. Just in case you were wondering. He's a top chef. I'm proud of him. Yeah. I don't trust her at all. Zero trust. And we were, you know, I was trying to protect Tim. You know, I wanted, and all three of us were sitting there like, you know, you gotta be, like, careful about this shit.
Oh my god, dude, people can fuck off in this fucking game.
He was like, alright, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give her a compliment sandwich, I'll promote her. She'll do the thumbnails and the cutting of the videos. She won't be in this house anymore. She won't see anybody. She'll be in an apartment in the city, like the closest city, whatever. And we'll do that. Like, Nisha can do the cameras and the mics, and you'll come back on the show. Like, he straight up said it. Like, we'll bring it back to the way it was without Lydia. And I mean, I didn't believe it at the time, and I don't know if you noticed, I never went back on that show. Yeah, Monday came around, nothing changed at all. You know, it's like, oh, okay, what happened? Like, what, I don't understand. Like, how did that, you said all that shit. Like, you admitted that you're scared of her. Like, she's a threat to your business, right? Like, why aren't you, like taking care of it? Like, you'd think that he would protect himself like that. Yeah, I was really bummed about that. Because that's what I was waiting for. You know, I really wanted that to happen. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, okay. Forgot about this. So, around this time, now I mentioned Tim's brother, right? He stole my jacket from me. While we were doing Timcast, his brother, not his older brother that I lived with in Miami, because he's awesome. I think this is also his older brother, but his closer brother. That's like his full brother. His other brother's a half brother. So it's whatever. His name's Chris. Dude stole my shit. And then he sued Tim for like millions of dollars because of some subverse shit. I don't really know about the business. I don't really care. Tim beat it because it was a stupid lawsuit and his brother was making shit up. He also hacked the house multiple times to try to shut the electricity off, to shut our Alexa system down, to do all sorts of funky shit to try to fuck with our show. You know, and Tim was fucking pissed. And I don't blame him, right? Your brother's suing you, trying to literally hacking your house. And I was like, fuck this guy. And he's a thief too. I think he stole a bunch of Tim's shit too, but I don't know what he stole. But I know he stole my jacket. Because Tim confirmed it with Tim's mom, who, you know, of course he was living with. So,
oh
right
my
after this
god!
Time, when we had this chat with Tim, we were skating outside, whatever, because it was like a nice day, and it's good exercise of skating. And he looks at me, he's like, so I hired my brother. And I was like, the one that sued you? The one that stole our shit? That one? The one that hacked your house? Yeah, he's gonna be doing like coding for my website or some shit. And I was like, I said this, I was like, you're gonna hire him back, but you're not gonna bring me back on? Like, what the fuck? Well, you know, keep your enemies close, he's family. You know what, alright, he's family, alright. I can't argue with that. But that stung. It's like, damn, dude. Really? This? Wow. Alright. Okay.
First off, you got... Oh my god.
We've always fought like this. I don't... Oh, he's always sued me for millions of dollars. You know, it ain't no thing. He's always hacked my computer system to try to shut me down while I'm live with thousands of viewers, potentially ruining some income. Yeah, it's how my family rolls. Oh, well, then that makes a lot more sense. Interesting. Yeah, so that stung. That was weird. So a lot of my relationship with Tim, I was confused. Like, I couldn't understand why he made some decisions that he did.
And that's the end of that fucking car. Oh my god.
And then go back on different things multiple times. I don't recall when, but he did ask me to come back on the Timcast show. But he also said that I wouldn't be able to do my show anymore. And then I wouldn't,
Alright. Whatever.
get paid what I got
might take a break from this dumbass shit.
And I couldn't...
Because this mission is fucking horrible.
It's like, no. Like,
fuck
you
that.
and I had magic together. Like, we were fire and ice. Like, I'm not gonna come back on that show and not get the cut that I was getting.
I'm not doing that.
That would be making it the show that it was, and not the show that it is now, which is a very different show, so I hear. You know, Tim loves being the smartest guy in the room, and he loves telling everybody that he's the smartest guy in the room. I can't stand that attitude, and I never let him make me believe it. You know what I mean? Everyone else believes it in that company. They believe it, and I don't care who you are. You are not the smartest man in the room, ever. You'll never be. I'm certainly never going to be the smartest man in the room, and I'm okay with that. But that also means I know I can learn from others. I don't like that attitude. But he got what he wanted. You know, he admitted to me after he fired me that he wanted the show to be him with guests. Him not having to think about what segments to do, which is such bullshit. Because he invites guests on and doesn't even talk about their expertise. He talks about the relevant shit every single day. You know, it's like,
well, there
come on,
wasn't
man.
even a fucking...
If you're going to have guests, Joe Rogan brings guests on and talks to them about what they're interested in and what their expertise is, and does a 3-hour episode about it. Yeah, sure, they might dip into DMT, not literally, but figuratively, about, you know, some cool side path, but it's because the person's interested in it. And then he listens to their side of the story. It's very different. Tim got exactly what he wanted. He wanted to be the person everyone in the room listens to when he starts talking. Right? I was like, you know what, good for him. Like, honestly, I'm happy for Tim. Like, I want him to be successful, right? I don't want him to fail, and he won't, because Tim's a fucking workaholic. That man won't stop working ever. You try to make him to stop work, it won't. You know, that man's gonna work, and he's good at his job. And the people need good news sources that tends to be non-biased. Everyone has a bias, of course, but I mean, he owns he doesn't own it literally, but he owns up to the milquetoast fence sitter moniker, because someone's got to play that part, right? He's riding the line right in the middle. It's like, that's fine. Someone's got to do it, and he does it very well. So where am I? So Tim asked me to be on the show. He also said he was going to fire her, bring me back to full status, like where it was before. You know, and that didn't go through. I wasn't going to just give up on my show. I would have had to stop doing my show, right? That wasn't going to happen. I love my show. I love my chat. I love the people that show up to me, to my show and support me. They're amazing. And shout out to all you that are doing that. Yeah, I wasn't gonna give that up. That wasn't happening. But Tim did do something smart. Not that he does do stuff that's smart, but he's made some questionable decisions. He made an NDA. He finally went and did it, and got everyone in the house to sign it. Until he came into the in-law suite. And he walked in, and it's funny, he laughed, and he looked at me, and he threw it down, Got it right here. He threw it down on the kitchen table and laughed and said, "I know you're not going to sign this." Just like that. And then, of course, the COO of the company was walking next to him with a pen and dropped a pen on it. And it was like, all right, well, that's a little weird. You know I'm not going to sign it, and there's the COO is dropping a pen on the frickin' NDA. He's like, go ahead and read it and get back to me. And, I'm looking through it. It's, an NDA, whatever. I didn't sign it. It's partly why I can do this right now. But one thing in here is every single thing that I've created while working with Tim, he would own, including this show. So meaning, had I signed it and worked on the Castle vlog, which I was offered a position to do that, I would no longer own my show. I would no longer own my song Freely, because I wrote that while I was there. I would no longer own The Forge, another song that I wrote while I was there. And that wasn't happening. And of course, Nisha's a musician and a creative person, a creative mind. And she was like, there's no way I'm going to sign that. And that was pretty much the final straw. It's like, all right, this isn't going to happen. I'm not going to stop something that, he did help me build. I would not have as big of a channel without Tim. And I recognize that, and I'll forever be grateful for Tim for that. But I'm not going to give it up for a different job. And I don't make that much money. I'm not Tim Pool level at all. Not even close. Trust me. I know the numbers. That would be amazing. I had the algorithms against me. I've gotten 9 strikes on this channel since I started it because I spoke the truth. And everything that I got a strike for to this day has been proven true in the past 6 months. Every single thing. Maybe not the election, but that remains to be seen. But I wasn't going to give that up. It's never going to give you up. I still have the Rick Astley video sitting. I'm literally. I'm not joking. Like, this is still sitting here on my monitor right in front of me. So that's Rick's message to my show. Never going to give you up, or maybe to my chat. I'm never going to give you guys up. Did you guys think that was funny? Did you guys think that was funny when I Rickrolled you at the beginning? Come on, that was funny, right? I haven't seen. It's kind of weird not seeing chat. I haven't seen chat this whole. I don't even know how many people are watching. Could be no one. I could be talking to no one right now. I have no idea. Thank you, Nitra. But when all of this is said and done, I really give Tim a lot of props. Because when we found out that we weren't going to be staying there and we had to move, we had to figure out where we were going to move. Now, I hate the American education system. I hate it with a passion. And Nisha and I are going to have kids soon. I think she set a date of when the trying time is going to happen, which, yeah, it's fine with me. But that's happening soon, and we wanted to raise our kids in Sweden.
Oh my god, dude, this is brutal. So we started looking
at houses in Sweden.
Holy fuck.
And that's where I am right now. It's currently... I don't even know where my phone is. 2 a.m. something. I've been doing my show in the middle of the night for, I don't know, almost a year. And it's been a lot of getting used to living in a different country. And I finally got my
alright, whatever, dude.
residency
Fuck this shit.
stuff set, which is something that I really wanted to be in place before I talked about it. But when we found this spot, Tim offered to move us here. And it wasn't cheap. And it was really awesome of it, you know. I really, really appreciate it. I feel like it's kind of like my severance package. Because though it was a lot, it was like 2 episodes, of Timcast IRL. You know, at least the last month that I was on the show. I don't know if it's gotten bigger or what their viewership looks like. All I know is, the last episode we had 80,000 people watching us. Just me and Tim, shooting the shit, talking about life. But I owe a lot of that to Tim. That was really awesome of him, And I really do feel like there's a piece of him that really wants to be my friend still. And there's a piece of me that wants to be his friend. And he's given me the I'm sorry for the way things happened. Which is cool. Yeah, me too. I'm sorry for the way things happened. It was like but to acknowledge that I was right to distrust Lydia, even though I wasn't giving him an ultimatum to like fire her or I'm walking. It was I don't know. I don't know if Tim and I will ever work again together. I'm still getting used to living here. I mean, we've always talked about having two houses, 2 places. One in Sweden and one in America somewhere. Maybe Texas. Texas is pretty awesome. All my family in Chicago's thinking about moving to Texas. I got really good friends in Texas. I know I have a friend who right now is thinking of, he's in the hospital, I think, right now. What's up, Mark? I love you, bro. He's about to be a dad. I'm really proud of him. I love him. He's my longest friend in life. And I know he's listening right now. I really appreciate him a lot. He's got my back, and he makes my thumbnails. Really, really love that guy. And I'm really, really excited for him to be a dad. And I'm excited to be a dad. And I'm a proud American. And it is interesting living in a different country. And I didn't know if people would be upset about it, but I don't care anymore. This thing with going to Rumble and being able to just speak completely freely about anything is so incredible for me. That's why I did this episode, because I needed to get that off my chest. I needed you to understand why I was fired from that show and why I probably won't work with Tim anymore. Or maybe I will. But you understand now, when I hear Tim come up in a conversation, that I'm like, I'm confused. I'm confused. It's because of my relationship with him doesn't make sense to me. It's not a normal relationship that I've ever had with a friend, because it's just been a roller coaster that, he's made choices that and statements that make me think he doesn't give a shit at all, and he could never see me again and wouldn't bother him at all, but then also try his hardest to try to keep me involved and, go out of his way to include me in things. So, I'm focusing on me. I'm focusing on being free. And I'm never going to censor myself again. ever. YouTube be damned. I'm on Rumble right now. I don't know how many people are watching on Rumble, but I've got, I don't know, over 3,000 subs on Rumble, which is really awesome. But like, you know, the 190 some subs on YouTube, it's like, that's amazing. But I'll swap that for the 3,000 that follow me on Rumble any day to be able to be fully truthful about who I am, what I've been through, what I'm thinking about something, and my true opinion on something. I'll be honest, it feels fucking good now that that story's out. You know, I hope people understand, I'm not angry at Tim. I'm not angry at him. I don't respect Lydia, but I'm not angry at Lydia. I think I said it. It's more confusion with Tim, you know, because I want to be his friend, but I also just like, I don't care anymore. You know what I mean? It's a weird. It's hard to explain it, but I feel like now that you know my side of it, maybe it'll make a little more sense when I have different views on what I'm, you know, on different things that I'm talking about. So, what's up, chat? It's the first time I'm seeing chat all episode. Holy shit, we got 9,000 people watching. Damn. Holy crap. What's up, everybody? Follow me over on Rumble. YouTube sucks. It's so much more fun on Rumble. You guys are... Holy shit, the chat revenue. Thank you guys so much for the support. Honestly, I didn't do this. I really can't stress enough. I really want to say this again. I didn't do this to, like, hurt Tim at all. Like, I honestly want him to succeed. And I know he will, because he's great at his job. Like, the world needs more people like Tim in their reporting or reading the news. But this is something that I've done, you know, I've read the news. And it's one thing to just read it, but it's another thing to, like, have a backlog of information to cross-reference and bring up as a good point. And he does that very well. So, jeez, how am I going to get through all these